What gives money its power? A piece of paper, a line of code, a number glowing on a screen. None of it feeds you, shelters you, or keeps you warm. And yet, people kill for it. Governments rise and fall because of it. We measure success, freedom, even happiness in units of something that doesn't exist in the physical world. So who decided what money is worth? And how did an idea become the most powerful force on earth? Before money, there was trust. People traded what they had for what they needed: grain for meat, cloth for salt, tools for labor. But barter had one fatal flaw. It required coincidence. You needed what I offered, and I needed what you had at the same moment in time. To fix that, people created something that could stand in for value. Cowrie shells, shiny stones, beads, metal pieces, each a symbol, not of wealth itself, but of agreement. Money was never about gold. It was about belief. The first currencies weren't imposed by kings or bankers, they emerged from the crowd. A shell was only valuable because the tribe agreed it was. That shared illusion became civilization's first social contract. Around 600 BC, in the kingdom of Lydia, what's now Western Turkey, the first stamped coins appeared. Made of electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver, each coin bore a mark of the king's seal. That seal meant, this coin weighs what I say it weighs, and it's worth what I say it's worth. For the first time, value had a signature authority. People didn't have to test or trust each other anymore. They trusted the state. Money evolved from a shared belief into a political weapon. Empires learned that whoever controlled the mint controlled the economy. Rome paid its soldiers in silver denarii until it didn't. As wars dragged on, emperors diluted the metal to fund their armies. Citizens noticed their coins buying less each year. Inflation was born. Even back then, people learned the same painful truth. The value of money can be changed not by nature, but by decree. For centuries, gold became humanity's obsession. It was rare, beautiful, and most importantly, limited. Unlike promises, gold couldn't be printed. It was the closest thing to real value people could hold. By the 19th century, nations built the global economy on the gold standard. Every piece of paper money was backed by a certain amount of metal locked in vaults. A dollar, a pound, a franc each had meaning because you could exchange it for gold. It was a system of discipline. Governments couldn't spend what they didn't have. But it was also a system of chains. Gold tied the hands of politicians and limited growth. When war or crisis struck, they suspended the rule, always temporarily. And each time, money drifted further from metal and closer to faith. The 20th century changed everything. 2 world wars, a Great Depression, and a new empire, the United States. After World War II, in 1944, world leaders met in a small town called Bretton Woods. They needed order away to rebuild a shattered world. So they made a deal. Every major currency would be tied to the U.S. dollar. And the dollar? It would be tied to gold. For decades, that system held. The dollar became the anchor of global trust. But behind the scenes, America was printing more dollars than gold could cover. The illusion began to crack. Then came 1971. President Richard Nixon went on television and calmly announced that the U.S. would no longer redeem dollars for gold. Just like that, the link between money and metal was gone. And the world entered a new era, fiat currency money by government decree. From that day forward, money was worth whatever we agreed it was. And the agreement was enforced by nothing more than confidence. Without gold, there were no limits. Governments could print, borrow, and spend at will. Debt became not a danger, but a design. Banks created money out of thin air every time they issued a loan. Digital numbers appeared on screens, backed not by gold, but by promises of repayment. And so the illusion grew, not on metal, but on mathematics. When people say the world is in debt, they forget. Debt is someone else's asset. Your mortgage is the bank's income. A government bond is a pension fund's treasure. In this system, every dollar is born as debt created when someone signs a promise to pay later. If everyone repaid every loan tomorrow, the money supply itself would vanish. It's not a bug. It's the foundation of the modern economy. The world doesn't run on money, it runs on credit. And credit runs on trust. Fast forward to today. Most money doesn't exist physically. More than 90% of global currency lives as digits on servers, moving through algorithms at the speed of light. We check our bank balance, see a number, and believe it's there. But it's not. It's a claim on a claim, a promise layered on top of another promise. And yet, it works. Because billions of people agree to play the same game every day. We swipe cards, send transfers, invest in markets, and it all functions because no one dares to stop believing. The global economy is a shared hallucination that happens to be incredibly efficient. But what happens when belief cracks? In 2008, we got a preview. The world's biggest banks had built towers of promises on unstable foundations. When trust collapsed, so did the system. Trillions vanished overnight, not because the resources disappeared, but because confidence did. That's when people began to ask the question again. If money isn't real, what gives it value? The answer is the same as it was thousands of years ago. We do. Money is a collective story, one told so consistently that it feels like truth. It's a contract of faith between individuals, institutions, and governments. Its worth is the reflection of our trust in each other. When a nation loses that trust through corruption, inflation, or collapse, its currency dies. No decree can revive it. Once people stop believing, the spell is broken. That's why hyperinflation feels like madness. The numbers go up, but the meaning goes down. At some point, people stop counting zeros and start counting loaves of bread. Today, belief is being rewritten again. Cryptocurrencies, digital dollars, and central bank tokens, each one a new story about value. Bitcoin says, trust math, not governments. Banks say, trust regulation, not chaos. And somewhere between those extremes, the future of money is being forged. But the question remains, who decides what any of it is worth? It's not miners, or central banks, or markets alone. It's everyone participating in the story. When enough people agree that a string of code equals value, it becomes real. Not because it is, but because we believe it is. Every transaction, every paycheck, every swipe of a card, it's a daily act of collective imagination. Money has no morality. It doesn't care how it's earned or spent, but it shapes what we care about. Entire lives are built chasing numbers that mean nothing outside of human agreement. We trade time, our most finite resource, for digits that disappear as quickly as they appear. When people say money makes the world go round, they're right, but only because we've decided to revolve around it. It's the gravity of our civilization, invisible, unquestioned, and everywhere. And yet, beneath the noise of markets and interest rates, the same truth remains. Money is not value. It's a mirror reflecting what we value most: security, status, power, survival. So who decided what money is worth? Not a single person, not a secret council, not a hidden elite. We all did. Through centuries of trade, trust, and repetition, humanity voted with belief. But that also means we can decide differently. If value is a story, we can write new ones about cooperation instead of competition, sustainability instead of extraction, meaning instead of profit. The danger isn't that money is fake. It's that we've forgotten it is. We built a world where everything from a loaf of bread to a human life has a price. But maybe worth was never meant to be measured in numbers at all. In the end, the most valuable things have no price tag. Time, trust, love, creativity, life itself. And maybe that's the lesson hidden beneath all the zeros. That the worth of money isn't in the paper, or the code, or the coin. It's in the story we agree to tell. So the next time you hold a bill, tap your phone, or chase another digit on a glowing screen, remember, you're not holding wealth, you're holding belief. Because maybe we all did.